What is the Islamic ruling on the Arab Revolt and the Najd rebellion against the Ottoman Caliphate? Islamic scholars and jurists have various opinions on the Arab Revolt and the Najd rebellion against the Ottoman Caliphate. The interpretation of these events can be influenced by historical context and differing schools of Islamic thought. Here are some key points to consider. 1. Differing opinions. There is no single, universally accepted Islamic ruling on these events. Different scholars and Islamic schools of thought may have varying views on the legitimacy and consequences of these uprisings. 2. Sharif Hussein's revolt. Sharif Hussein's Arab revolt aimed to establish Arab independence from Ottoman rule and, eventually, to establish an Arab caliphate. Some may view his actions as a legitimate struggle for self-determination, while others may criticize his alliance with Western powers, such as the British, during World War I. 3. Najd's rebellion. The Najd region, led by figures like Ibn Sa'd, rebelled against the Ottoman Caliphate and played a significant role in the formation of modern Saudi Arabia. Opinions on the Najd's rebellion vary, with some considering it a legitimate effort to establish an Islamic state, while others may question the methods and alliances involved. For historical context, to understand the Islamic ruling on these events, it's essential to consider the historical context and the complexities of the time, including the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and the emergence of new nation-states in the Arab world. 5. Scholarly interpretations. Islamic scholars from different backgrounds may have different interpretations based on their understanding of Islamic principles and the specific circumstances of these revolts. Some may see them as justified efforts to end Ottoman oppression, while others may raise concerns about alliances with foreign powers. In summary, the Islamic ruling on the Arab Revolt and the Najd rebellion is a matter of scholarly interpretation and can vary among different Islamic scholars and schools of thought. It's essential to consult knowledgeable scholars or sources within one's own tradition for specific opinions on these historical events. Was the Ottoman Caliphate oppressive? The question of whether the Ottoman Caliphate was oppressive is a complex one and depends on various factors, including the time period, specific rulers, and regions within the vast Ottoman Empire. Here are some key points to consider. 1. Long history. The Ottoman Empire had a long history that spanned several centuries, from the 14th century to the early 20th century. During this time, the empire underwent significant changes in leadership, governance, and policies. 2. Variability. The Ottoman Empire was not uniformly oppressive throughout its history. There were periods of relative tolerance and stability, as well as periods of conflict and oppression. 3. Religious diversity. The Ottoman Empire was known for its religious diversity, with a significant Muslim majority but also sizable Christian and Jewish populations. At times, religious minorities were granted certain rights and protections, while at other times, they faced discrimination and persecution. 4. Rule of law. The Ottomans had a legal system based on Islamic law, Sharia, and customary law. While some aspects of this legal system were seen as just and fair, there were also instances of corruption and abuse. 5. Revolts and reforms. Over the centuries, various regions within the empire experienced revolts and uprisings against perceived oppression, and some rulers initiated reforms to address grievances. 6. Imperial expansion. The Ottoman Empire expanded through conquest, which could lead to the perception of oppression in newly conquered territories. 7. Late Ottoman period. In the late Ottoman period, there were significant challenges, including military defeats, territorial losses, and internal strife, which contributed to a sense of decline and instability. In summary, the Ottoman Caliphate's history is complex and characterized by periods of both relative tolerance and oppression. Whether one views the Ottoman Caliphate as oppressive or not can depend on the specific historical context and the perspective from which it is assessed. Different regions and communities within the empire may have had varied experiences. It's important to consider historical nuances and specific time periods when evaluating the Ottoman Empire's record on oppression.